Yo, what's going on, everybody? You already know, man. It's mrskinnyDaDon in the building with the Skinnosphere podcast, episode 5. Let's go. With none other than Melly in the building. So, salute to everybody that's coming through. Um, let's let it rip.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I see you nap in the building. Lady DJ, Max Boogie, I see y'all in the building, man. Salute to everybody coming through. Y'all already know Skinnosphere podcast, man. Salute the donations. They'll be read across the screen. Appreciate y'all donating, hitting the cash app. They'll be read across the screen and read at the end of the broadcast as to not interrupt the broadcast. But if you do have questions for the guests, highlight them in the comments as far as the super chats, and then we'll get to them. But let's get this show on the road. Sorry I'm a little late. It was definitely my fault. But you know how it goes down. We've been streaming all day, so without further ado, let me bring the guest tonight to the stage. Melly Mel, she has a YouTube channel. You can go over there. She has shows like the Hood Chick Chronicles and things of that nature. And we're going to talk to her tonight on the Skinnosphere podcast about relationships in the black community and how she sees it. And, well, I'm just going to let her tell you the rest. Without further ado, here is Melly Mel, y'all.
Hello, what's up, y'all? Hey. How are you, Mrs. Skinny? What's up?
Melly, what's up?
Nothing much, just doing my thing. That's it, that's all.
Hey.
Hey, y'all in the chat. Hey, y'all on the other platforms. What's up? I am yours truly, Melly Mel, 2 L's, all caps, all facts. Honeycomb Hideout.
Honeycomb Hideout. Yo, Melly Mel.
Yes.
Tell everybody a little bit about you, man. Like where you from.
Okay.
Tell them about your channel and how you started off on YouTube.
Okay. Well, I'm Melly. I'm from CT, Hartford to be exact. And I started YouTube about 2 years ago. And I really just like indulge in the hip hop and, celebrity gossip type of thing. But further along the line, you kind of get dragged into other different things. So I do a multitude, like I'm multifaceted. So I do plenty of different things. Like we could talk about relationships, celebrity gossip, YouTube stuff. I'm all well rounded. So we do whatever we want to do at the Honeycomb Hideout. It's
So,
lit.
being on YouTube and talking about relationship advice as well as other stuff, of being a young woman on YouTube, I'm pretty sure that you get a lot of advances like in the DMs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But you have to be selective, especially on YouTube, because it's vicious on the internet. And you don't know who has good intentions or who doesn't. So you have to be selective.
Yeah, people try to set you up.
Yes. Absolutely. Set you up. People send other people for you that don't like you, send somebody else. You know what I mean? So yeah, it be like that. You got to be very selective on the internet. Facts.
So, coming up, Melly, as far as yourself, as far as dating and things like that. So, how would you like rate your relationship experiences up to this point?
Up until this point,
Yeah.
I would say it's about 50-50. It's like 50-50. I give it like a
50-50 good things to say, 50-50 bad things to say.
right. Like it's not all, it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't all good either. I would say like 50-50.
It's a lot of females that now they're basically advocating for black females to date outside of their race.
Mm.
It's a lot of people saying that now that black males are not good, and then you already know that they're saying that black men like white women and to date out of
Hmm.
their race and stuff like that. So as far as you, do you stick straightly to dating within your race, or it's whatever?
Absolutely, I do. I stick to dating within my race. I do. I'm more so I love black love. I just love a black man, period. Like it's okay, like, it just depends on the situation, but I more so would date inside my race because I feel like there's nothing stronger than, black love. Honestly. That's just my honest opinion. I think if more people, I feel like it's a disconnect between the black men and the black women.
Speak
You
on
know,
that.
it's a disconnect. We don't have the same love that our grandparents had. We don't have the same love that they talked about in the 70s and the 80s and the 60s. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different now. Dating outside my race, I wouldn't mind it, but as far as I go, would probably be like, Spanish or something like that. Because we can relate. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
We
yeah.
can relate. So that's kind of like as far as I go. No disrespect to anybody who feels like other races is different like that. That's cool, but that's just my preference. I prefer a black man, chocolate to be exact.
And basically, you saying like you said the word relate. Basically, you want to be with somebody who can relate to like your struggles, or that y'all could go through this here world together and be able
Hmm.
to bounce back and forth off each other. Like that can you basically saying that you want to make the basically understand the trials and tribulations of a black woman because they're a
Yes,
black man, and you vice versa.
absolutely, absolutely. I feel like that plays a big part. I feel like that plays a big part for me as to why I don't really date outside my race. But I'm not opposed to dating outside my race. I just haven't found nobody where I feel like, okay, they're worth me stepping outside of that realm and actually exploring in that type of way. You get what I'm saying? So
Facts.
I don't know.
So at this present time, are you single or are you in a relationship?
It's complicated.
Facebook.
It's complicated. It's complicated. But for the most part, yes, I am a single woman. I don't have nobody that I'm exclusive with or anything. I would say I'm dating more than
Okay.
anything. I'm dating.
Okay. Okay.
Or
Uh,
talking to, as we would say on Hood Chick Chronic, just talking to, court and vet and different things like that. Yeah. Dating. Actively.
hey, so that'll bring us into basically the topic of this here show. Is it better to be single or to settle?
Mm.
Now, the reason why I came up with that topic is because I heard females say nowadays being single is not a death wish. Like, like somebody tells a female you're gonna be single all your life, and now they don't look at it as like, oh, that's a bad thing. They look at it as shoot, I'm good with that. So
Mm.
but you also got females as well as males out there who will settle.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll settle for the first thing that comes along, or they'll settle for like not really being happy, but just settle because things happen or whatever, or they feel like it's nobody else out there. So I want to ask you the question. Do you think it's better to be single and then just chill, or to settle?
I think it's better to just be single. Absolutely, because when you settle, you build up a lot of resentment towards whoever you're settling with, and it never turns out, 100% in the end anyway. What's the point of settling? Like, if you're unhappy, why are we still stuck in that situation? But I understand it though. Economics play a good part into why a lot of people don't get divorced, even though they no longer want to be together, or kids may come into play. There's different situations to why people settle. But if you're single, you have the options and the choices of picking who's right for you. You can still be happy and still and be single. But when you settle, you're more unhappy than anything else. And honestly, life is not promised. You know, you want to be with somebody who that you want to be with. Like finding your life partner, even if you're married or not, because a lot of people get it misconstrued, thinking that just because you're married or y'all need to get married and different things like that, that means something, right? No, you could have somebody that you've been dealing with, life partner, whatever the case may be, for the last 20 years and don't have to be married and still have a good and decent relationship. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like being single is better than settling.
Being single with the option of finding that long life partner.
Yes, finding somebody who really connects with you, vibes with you, and everything else. Because who the hell wants to go home at night settling with somebody that they don't even like?
Facts.
Like, who wants to do that? You going to bed mad, y'all arguing and fussing all the damn time. Like, no, who wants to do that? Now you're going to bed angry and upset because you're like, damn, I settled for this person when I could have did better. You know?
Facts. Facts. Definitely. And you said a word in there like you basically was like when you settle, basically from what I'm getting from what you're saying, settling is like living a lie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because you are basically living a lie. Because you're not happy for one, and then you settled for the next best thing that you felt like was good for you. Now you also have to evaluate those type of situations though. Like when you talk about settling for somebody, now you have to kind of look at you in the mirror. I feel like when you settle, you self-reflect, as well, because why are you settling? Does this person do stuff for you that you feel like nobody else would do? Do you feel like you would never get nobody better? Like, you have to start evaluating who you are when you settle.
Do you feel like you've ever settled in a relationship?
Oh
And
yeah.
when you were settling, do you feel like you were suffering?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Speak on it.
Yes, absolutely. Because would you settle do you want me to give you like life experiences or
Yes.
what? Okay.
You don't have to
So
say no names though.
no, I wouldn't disrespect nobody like that.
Yeah,
Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure
definitely.
y'all tap in. Make sure y'all support the platform. Both platforms. Salute to my honeycomb hideout that's in attendance as well. Salute to y'all. Salute the Mr. Skinny people. Mr. Skinny T. Look, already stuttering. That goose kicking in early.
Melly on the
Yes.
Grey Goose.
Salute the Mr. Skinny peoples as well. Um a time where I settled, it would have to be just I would give you an example with my baby daddy. I feel like I kind of settled with that. And this is real talk. This is true life. This is a no judgment free zone. We've
Right.
all been through experiences and learned. I feel like I settled in that situation because I got pregnant. without really understanding. I was young and I really didn't understand what I was getting myself into. And I kind of settled because I'm like, all right, well, now we have a baby coming, and that's just what the situation was. Not realizing that he likes to go to jail. Not realizing that I was going to be alone a majority of my time because he wasn't going to be around ripping and running the streets. So yes, I feel like I settled in that situation because I felt like I was tied down or I was locked down with a baby.
Yes.
So it was hard for me. Like I had to really go through that. And I'm the type of person that I'm loyal. Like, so if you locked up, I'm going to hold you down. You know what I mean? Like you got my full
Shout out to the
support.
women that hold men down.
Facts. Like you got my full support. Like you got money on your books, letters, visits, all that. Like I'm that type of girl. Like I'm gonna hold you down 100%. But then I had to stop settling and get out of that mentality to where it was like, okay, you keep going back to jail, making these decisions, for just you and thinking about yourself, but you're not thinking about me and our family. So I had to skedat and keep it pushing.
Dub 14 had a question. He wanted me to ask you, do you feel like it's ever been vice versa, like you've been settled for, like a man has settled for you? Have you ever felt like that in your position and been like, you know what I mean, I'm out?
Yeah, because I feel like men have standards too. It's not just us women that have standards. Yeah, I feel like if I wasn't up to par with what he wanted, yeah, of course you're gonna settle if you feel like I'm not up to par or up to your standard as what you want or what you prefer. Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, absolutely. We can't be perfect for everybody. And just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I'm perfect for you or just, you know what I mean? So no, I don't look at it that way. I'm definitely non-biased when it comes to just situations, period. Like if you feel like I don't cook enough, but you want somebody who cooks, you know what I mean? Or if, I don't do certain things right, or, like you are entitled to feel that way. And I wouldn't want any man to feel like he's settling just because, or just because I'm a female, I'm just the top notch boss. Like, no, you gotta be realistic. Everybody is not top notch. You know what I mean? Every female is not top notch just because she got a coochie. You know what I mean? Some women are raggedy. Some women are trifling.
Facts.
So you got to do what's best for you. Now, do I feel like a man has settled for me? Yeah, because he wasn't being truthful to himself. You know, he didn't like my personality, or he didn't like what I brought to the table. So why are you settling?
So let me ask you this: do you think you talked about having a child from this guy
Mm-hmm.
and him constantly being back and forth in the system, and you
Right.
settled for that? What was your breaking point? Was it the fact that what the life that you was envisioning was you and him together raising a family, not you going back and forth and hauling your child to the prison system to see their dad and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
What was your tipping point when you was like, damn, I'm settling?
Because the tipping point for me was I'm not making these bad decisions. So why am I doing bids with you? You're making these decisions and these choices for you. Thinking about yourself in that moment, right from wrong. Why am I sitting here doing bids with you that I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like I didn't do that. Why am I doing bids with you?
So it was basically habitual offender type stuff, like get out, go back, get out, go back. Be-
I mean, we from the
yeah,
hood.
because I'm saying like
We from the ghetto.
when you have like that backbone like that, like as a male, it's like shit, anything I do, she got my back. So, not thinking that, like I like to say, like whenever you do prison time, it ain't just you doing it; it's your family doing it with you.
Right. But I couldn't blame him because that's all he knew.
Okay.
That's all he knew. I couldn't blame him. You know what I mean?
So that was a
So
part of your maturation as well.
yeah, because I was like, that's all he knows. He don't know nothing different. He don't know nothing better. And I can't change his mind. He has to want to change on his own. So at some point in time, you have to be like, all right, well, is he gonna drag me to hell with him, or am I gonna, get
Jump
out of this?
off. Yeah.
Right. So I decided to jump ship.
Did you see that as being like a people will get in a cycle and they'll be like this here, they'll have a list of things that they want out of a significant other,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time you end up with the opposite on that list. So when I say it like that, like you went through that, did you ever find yourself that, because some women will be like, all I attract is prison niggas. All I
Mm.
attract is this and that. All I attract is bad boys. Did you
Mm-hmm.
feel yourself like in those relationship circles like, damn, I just left this here nigga. He be going back and forth to prison. Now I got another nigga.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. I've been through that phase in life for sure, for sure. But I had to, because with time,
Do
with
you think it
age,
was more because of the environment or you?
I think it was more so. I think it was both.
Explain.
I think it was both.
Explain.
Because if you're in that type of environment where that's all you see, then yeah, of course that's what you're going to be attracted to. You'll be a product of your environment. You know what I mean? So yeah, it'll happen that way, but there comes when you grow and you mature, you will understand and you'll see the red flags and you'll see the signs like, oh no, you be in the street, I'm good. I don't want that a part of my life. I don't want that in my life. So being that I've been through that situation now, I could say to myself, I know you in the street. I know you probably not doing, I'm good. I don't want you in my life. So, but that comes with age though. You know what I mean? That
Nothing
comes
like
with experience.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it comes with experience.
Like they could come across this here podcast and they'll be like, man, Melly dropping some jewels, and then they be like, and they'll go and right out there and do the opposite until it happens to them. Then they'll be like, man, you know what? Melly was right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
very interesting because I always thought environment does play a major part in the partners that we choose.
it does.
Because I mean, if you growing up around nothing but hood niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You
unless
don't
you
want a
know,
hood nigga.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
unless you know you move out of that environment or out of that situation, the majority of the times, that's who you're gonna see.
Right. But see, that's where it comes a point in time where you have to look at your surroundings and say, you know what, I don't want this. This is not something that I want to deal with for the rest of my life. This is not something that I want. So now you start making moves. I'm just speaking for me. Now you start making moves in order to get out of that situation and actually do different things or look for something different or just be in a different environment. You know what I mean? And even yet and still, like I'm from the hood, so I have a discernment out of this world, right? So I already know when somebody approaches me, I already know what type of time they on just by the conversation that we having.
Right?
You know what I mean? And that comes with experience. If you come, hey yo ma, I want your number, ooh, and do a lot of stuff. I know you with the shits. I know you with the shits. Now the hood in me is gonna be like, ah shit. Yes, the hood in me is gonna love it. It's gonna like it because that's how we get down in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? But it's going to be a part of me that's going to be like, nah, I'm good, because I already know what type of time you on. I see what you about already. And do I want to associate myself with that? Or do I want to keep it pushing? So it's up to you what you want to entertain or not, whether you in the hood, whether you in the suburbs, whether you in Hollywood, regardless of where you at, you have to pick and choose where you want to be at or who you want to deal with, honestly.
Facts, man. And then, hey, this here relationship thing is complicated on a whole bunch of levels when you think about it in 2023, as far as different age categories, different generations. Like how you were speaking on, like the elders, they was basically like, till death do us part. That's it. Like we'll figure it out. Like it ain't no divorce or none of that shit till now, where like you have one argument, it's over.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's the thing
That's
that
it. I mean,
what you was about to
think
say.
about it. Think about it like this, right? Because what people don't shed a light on, and I hate to like do this to the people, but what people don't shed a light on is that Granny and Grandpa, Grandpa had a family cross town. You know what I mean? Like people don't speak on that.
Yeah.
But Granny still stayed. And Granny and Grandpa knew where his home was, even though he might have had a family cross town. And I
Grandpa
feel
definitely
like
didn't have the internet across town to tell on him.
yeah. You right. He didn't. So it was more easier and kept more of a secret for him to do his dirt, do whatever he had going on. But you know what the difference was back then is that the whoever the female, she never overstepped her boundaries. And I feel like a lot of that is missing nowadays. Because to be honest with you, Mrs. Skinny, I feel like all men cheat. I feel like most men cheat.
Okay.
I feel like most men cheat,
Speak on
right?
that.
And but my thing is this: if you gonna cheat, don't be sloppy, don't be messy, and also, your woman should, you should always just, be respectful, be just what you can be to your woman. The disrespect is already there, right? It's already present. But if you're not gonna leave him, ladies, let that man do what the fuck he gonna do. That's just my honest opinion. What why are we fighting? Why are we fussing?
And when it comes to that, I never understood like if a male is cheating. I done seen this when females been cheating too, but I never understood why would that person have so much animosity towards the other person and not who they with.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. You
Yeah.
know why that happens, Mr.
What?
Skinny? You know why that happens? That happens because you don't want to face reality. You feel like the other person is more responsible for breaking up your family or your home than the person who owes you that respect or loyalty. So it's kind of like a complex in your mind where you feel like, you know, oh, he did this, he did that, but she's the cause of, our wreckage or whatever the case may be. I feel like people just don't want to take accountability for anything that's going on in their relationships. Like, why would you blame the other woman? Now, if she knew about you, that's something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But you still shouldn't be going as hard at the other woman as you should be going at your man or your woman. They owe you the utmost respect and the loyalty, all the loyalty in the world. So why are we blaming other people for it? No, that's a hard pill to swallow. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. They don't want to keep it real with themselves. So
Definitely, man, because you have Kiana say, if you're gonna settle, do it quietly.
facts. Because who wants to settle publicly?
Yeah.
Ain't no good.
But hey, you said something. The person that gets hurt when the cheating happens,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes a lot of misplaced anger.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll go at the other person, but the other person can only do what the mate allows it to go there.
Facts.
And everybody says, yo, why cheat if you don't want the person? Then just leave and do this. But reality, it doesn't work like that most of the time.
Right. It don't. Because everybody has stuff invested, whether it be um emotional attachments, physical attachments, financial attachments.
You
You
said you
never
feel
know
like
people.
everybody cheats.
I said most men.
Yeah, you changed it, but at first you said,
I
I
said most men.
said, so you say most men cheat. What about
Yes.
females? What about females?
Yes, females we do too, but the difference between us females is that we're not sloppy with our cheating. Like you will never know that we're doing anything or whatever the case may be. And I'm sorry, ladies, I'm breaking girl code right now. Salute to all my sisters out there. I'm breaking girl code. But you will never know that a woman is cheating unless she absolutely wants you to know that she's cheating. You'll never know. But men are sloppy. They'll leave the girl text messages in the phone. They'll have the girl calling him all hours of the night, not blocking no calls, not none of that. Like men are sloppy and they're cheating. They lie bad and get caught. They sloppy.
Do you think a bad relationship, like, like just say for instance, a female or a male, a black female or a black
Mm-hmm.
male's um, relationship goes to the point they first like actual real relationship is a disaster. They get cheated on, they get beat up, all type of stuff like this. Is
That's
that
crazy.
something that's psychologically embedded in that person? Because I've seen people say that they dated the most terrible person, right? They dated the most terrible person. Like they'll say,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this dude here beat my ass. This dude never spent time with me. This dude was all of this. And then they'll find a person that's the complete opposite of that and they won't like them.
I don't think that's psychological. I think that has something to do with self esteem. Like I don't think it's psychological, like a mental thing, like a mental illness or anything. I feel like it's psychological in a way, but I feel like it's more low self esteem than anything. Because if you feel like you're not worthy of being loved better, then you'll never want to find better. Honestly, I feel like it's more so of a self esteem type of thing. So if you treating me like shit every single day and I continually want to go back to you treating me like shit,
Mm-hmm.
it has something to do with childhood traumas, different things like that. And it also comes from self esteem. Maybe your father never told you that you were beautiful or, what to settle for or what to not settle for or showed you how to pick a man or anything like that. So you had to learn for yourself.
So if the man, every time he gets mad, he puts his hands on you, and then you have that same type of behavior with
Mm-hmm.
another person, but they don't do it. And then you be like, well, this person ain't the one for me. And then you end up right back in another relationship with another person that does it. Is that like a
Self
form of muscle memory, you think? Or is it like because I done heard women say, oh, if he don't beat me, he don't love me. And I find
Yeah.
that bad because, like, to me, I think that's one of the craziest things. Like, for a man to have to put his hands on a woman, because I always say this: things that people love, they don't fuck up. Like if you say like you love my car, you don't see them running around crashing that shit. If a man says like he loves to play PlayStation, you don't see him going around slamming the shit on the ground and
Hmm.
all that shit. So when people say that they love individuals, then why do they treat them so badly? That's why I say love is a word that is thrown out there a lot, but it's basically not. It basically shouldn't be, because when you say you love something, that means that you're gonna give it the utmost care.
Right, but you also have to think about triggers as well. You also have to think about what could be triggering that person, to react in the way that they do or act the way that they do. You know, a lot of us experience love different. A show not too long ago where I asked, is it would you rather date somebody that was raised off of love or off of survival? And I feel like that plays a part into it as well, because if you were just raised off of nothing but love, then you will always get a good response. You will always get probably what you're looking for. You'll probably have a submissive woman or a submissive man if they were raised off of nothing but love. But what about the other percentage of people who were just raised off of survival? you know like, how does that come into play? Because I feel like in this dating world right now, well, I could just speak from like back in the day. I feel like a lot of us was raised off of survival, because we had a lot of parents that grew up in we grew up in the crack era, and a lot of them was just hustling to survive, or hustling and bustling just to survive. So now we get to a point where we're raising Gen Zs and millennials, where it's like, okay, it's a mixture of both. So where do you fit in between that? You know what I mean? Especially when you could recognize um people just using you for certain things, or you might have a genuine love, but then you might think like, oh, they might have a motive. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's mixed up. I feel like love who loves you, love on who loves you, but you also have to use your discernment. Because everybody who pretends in your face and say that they love probably don't.
Most of the time, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think it's a bunch of bullshit
Not a
because
bunch of bullshit.
yeah, because like you'll have like my bullshit meter is always real low. Like I have a low tolerance for bullshit. So it's like if a friend comes to me and it's like, hey, um, I'm dating this guy, or like a
Mm.
guy comes to me and it's like, I'm dating this female, but yo, all she wants to do is fuss and um, she always wants me to take her out. She always wants me to do this and that. Or like if I have a female that's be like, yo, my boyfriend, my baby daddy, all he does is beat my ass and this and that and all this. And I'm like, shit, leave. And then I still see you there. I'm like, man, you just doing
Mhm.
a whole bunch of talking. So like when I say, is it better to be single or to settle? Like if you are settling, the hardest thing probably to do is to make that step and leave.
I could agree. I could agree. Especially if you have like uh emotional or abandonment issues.
And when does being unhappy cross the line with being unfulfilled? Because
Mm.
you hear people say, for better, for worse, for
Hmm.
richer or poorer. But now you'll hear people be like, shit, I ain't staying with no motherfucking broke nigga. You know what I'm saying? This and that. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, or they'll be
Yeah.
like, or just like you say, shit, ain't no better or worse. Shit, that nigga motherfucker keep going back and forth to jail. I'm out.
Facts. Like, shit.
I
Sometimes
wanted to
money.
say that they need to find an author to rewrite the Bible because some of that stuff is outdated.
Listen, it's always going to be outdated because they use that to,
Yeah.
keep us bound and
Yeah, that's
bonded.
another show.
But yeah, that is. But honestly, I feel like people just gonna put up with what they want to put up with because that's the situation that they're in, right? So you could only get tired once you listen. Once a female gets tired, I'm talking about tired, like love is gone, love it, like it's done. It's a wrap. It's done. Like it's no more else to talk about. It's no more nothing else to do. And I get it. A lot of people will say, like, those situations. We'll sit here and say and coddle the situation because it's a sensitive subject, right? But I also had to realize that everybody is not as strong as I am, or as strong as other people. Some people can't just get out of the situation and just leave or just walk away because they're not as strong. You know what I mean? You have to have the strength and the mental capacity to be able to deal with certain things like that. Do you really think I'm going to sit up here and let a nigga beat my motherfucking ass every fucking day? Absolutely the fuck. Are you dumb? Like what? You beating who? Nah. You ain't got but one time to put your motherfucking hands on me, nigga, and I'm gone. I'm out. Because ain't no way you about to beat my ass every day. Ain't no fucking way.
Do you think that there's anything possible that a person could do to warrant in a relationship, I mean, as a female, do you think that there's anything possible that a female can do in a relationship to warrant them getting their ass beat and vice versa? Do you think it's anything that a male can do? Because males get their ass beat too in a relationship.
We don't talk about that enough.
Yeah, to get their ass beat.
We don't talk about that enough. I feel like abuse is abuse, whether it's from a man or a woman. Abuse is abuse. If you got a woman putting her hands on you every single day and you ain't did shit, or you got a man putting his hands on you every single day just to be controlling, I mean, it's all the same shit. It's just up to you if that's something that you want to deal with. At the first, I feel like this. Everybody's not going to think like me. This is just how I feel. At the first sign of abuse, physically, because there's also mental abuse as well, but physically, you should be gone. You should be out of there. Like, I'm not about to let you just what you think you got going. Now I'll be wrong if I call my brothers and I call my uncles over here to whoop your ass. Yeah. Now I'll be wrong. Yeah. But then I will also be wrong if I stayed in that situation after they came over here and beat your ass.
Fact. I always said that to my sister, and I was like, yo, if you and your husband get into it, don't call me because like I come over there, then I go to jail, and then when I get out, y'all niggas back together. Mm-hmm. Cause that's usually how it go. That's Stupid usually shit. How it go when it comes to domestic issues. Like I done seen a person come over to help somebody in a domestic issue and they partner jump on them.
Facts.
So it is crazy. So in this day and age, we talked about to be single or to settle. But on the flip side of that, you'll have women that's single, and I always hear this when you be like, well, why are you single? Oh, it ain't no good men out here. It ain't no good this and that. And I'm always like, that can't be true. When do you start looking within yourself?
It's not. And I've answered this question plenty of times before, and I answer it honestly. So now when people ask me, why are you single? Why you don't have a man? I tell them because I never really had like a point in time and period where I've actually dated. So now I'm trying to figure out.
So you always basically been from relationship to relationship. Okay.
Been in a relationship, long-term relationships for me. That's just how I am. I'm a Capricorn, so I love long-term relationships. I've never really had an opportunity or a chance to really date or serial date, as they like to call it now. So I'm just now getting into the groove of dating and wanting to, like, get to know different people for who they are and different things like that, to figure out what exactly do I like, because I wasn't able to experience that, being the fact that I was a young mom, a young single mom at that. So now that I'm up there in age, now I can date and figure out what I like, what I don't like, what I want in a man, what I don't want in a man. And I feel like that's what it really comes down to. I'm the type of person that once a dude comes along, if I really, really like him, because I don't like everybody. I don't like everybody. Like, everybody can't get up in my space.
Shout out to not liking everybody.
Facts. But the ones that I do like, now they're in my space. Now they're in my, everything. And I tend to kind of gravitate more towards, where I'm comfortable at. And I had to kind of break that down just a little bit, because I'm like, yo, I don't always just want to be comfortable in a situation to where I feel like I put all of my eggs in one basket. Like, no, Johnny over here wants to date me and take me out, but I'm ignoring his calls because I'm too caught up with Derek. You know what I mean? So now I've gotten out of the habit of just putting all of my eggs in one basket, and more so seeing, okay, keeping my options open. Who got this going on? Who got that going on? Whose morals matches up with mine? What are we doing? What do we have in common? What do we like to do on the flip side? Like, how often are we talking? What are we doing here? How often are we dating? How often are we seeing each other? So it's no longer the good morning text or the 2 a.m. text. It's now, okay, we're texting throughout the day. Mm-hmm. Now we want to see where we're at, meeting each other on that level. So I've definitely learned a lot, just dating as of recently. Like, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're dating serially.
So
if that's a word.
What do you believe the difference is between the Melly now and the younger Melly? Because we've had females on here at different ages. We done had we just had one male on here last week. But majority females of different ages, and they've seen things different when it comes to black on black relationships, and at different age groups, and at different things going on in their life at the current moment. Melly now, and then a young Melly. Like, the Melly now, what would the Melly now tell the younger Melly when it comes to relationships that you didn't have nobody to tell you? Because experience is the best teacher.
Yes, absolutely. What I would say to my younger self would be, what I would say to my, don't go so fast. Don't move too fast. That's what I would say to my younger self. Take your time. Use your discernment. Follow your intuition as well, because your intuition never lies. And that's what I would tell my younger self. Just, slow down. That's what I would tell my younger self. Slow down. Mm-hmm.
So you basically tell your younger self that it's a marathon, not a race.
Facts. Slow down. Definitely use your discernment. Just follow your intuition. If it ain't right, it ain't right. If it's something telling you that this situation is not where you need to be, keep it pushing. Absolutely. I would tell my younger self that. I would tell my younger self to love herself.
Anybody who has any questions for Melly Mel, feel free to start putting them in the chat. We got Melly Mel from the Honeycomb Hideout in the building. Hey, but it's always easier to put stuff on other people instead of putting the burden of blame on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always said, like whenever it's something done, it's not always completely 100% that person's fault.
Facts. I agree. I agree. But I feel like when you get into situations like that to where you have to learn lessons, you mirror people. Like you mirror somebody. And it's like, okay, well, you telling me all the things that I'm doing wrong, but did you actually look at yourself? Like you're blaming me for all of this, but did you look at you and figure out what caused this situation or what triggered this situation as well? So honestly, I feel like the person that's putting the fingers and putting all the blame be the most fucked up people. I swear to God, be the most fucked up people. I swear.
Like I said, with you now being older, how do you feel about do you feel like at the stage that you're at now and being from a different generation when being single wasn't looked upon as it was looked upon as being bad. You know what I'm saying? It was looked upon as, oh, she's single, he's single, nobody wants them. You know what I'm saying? All this. Do you feel like the Melly male now and the experiences that you went through, like let's say that you never get into another long term relationship again. Do you see
Hmm.
being single as a death wish from here on out? Or do you see it as being like, oh well shit.
Not a death wish, but who the fuck wants to be alone? Who
Who wants to die
the fuck
alone?
wants to be alone
Yeah.
at 60 or 50 or who wants to be alone? You know what I mean? Who wants to do that? I know I don't. So I mean, we all have that thing in our head. Some people are just fine with that. You know
Yeah,
what I
you got
mean?
some
But
people who are actually fine with that.
yeah, some people are cool with that. Like, and I don't knock you and I don't blame you, but no, I definitely want to have somebody by the time I'm 45 or in my 40s that I'm going to, okay, this what we doing. We going to spend the rest of our time that we got left on this earth together. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who don't want that? Shit. The fuck? Who don't want that?
Hey, Lola Bunny said, is it settling or not loving yourself, like you said? Like if you settling for somebody, is it really settling or is it the fact that you doing this because you don't love yourself enough to get out of the situation?
I feel like, yes, I feel like it has a lot to do with self-esteem. You feel like you're not better or you feel like you're not worth more than what you're being given. Absolutely. It's not settling. Some people do settle, but that's because they feel like they can't get anything better. And that comes down to self esteem. Yes, Lola. It comes down to self esteem. Anytime you're settling in a relationship, that you like, yo, this is where I'm at because I'm comfortable. I really don't have to do much in this relationship. I know this person is gonna love me regardless through anything, ups and downs. I could do whatever to him. Listen, I'm a you can't do whatever to me. Like you just can't. Like I'm sorry. Like you can't do whatever to me. I'm sorry. Like I draw the line. I have boundaries. Like you just cannot do whatever you want to do to me and think I'm gonna still be there or I'm gonna be stuck there. Like nah, Nick, I'm out. Like no, fuck you think this is? I'm out.
So how do you feel like this here is a black community question. How do you feel 20 years from now when it comes to dating in the black community? Because like you have a child, so they'll
Mhm.
be coming up and then they'll be looking to mama, and it's kind of crazy because they say experience is the best teacher, but then when you
Yeah.
try to tell somebody something, they don't want to take it.
Right.
They're like it's always experience is the best teacher, but they're not gonna take it until they bump their head.
So sometimes you gotta let them do that. You gotta let them bump their heads. Sometimes you gotta let them, go off on their own and figure it out for themselves. You can't always grab somebody by the hand and say, "Hey, this is where I'm gonna lead you to. This is where we're going. I'm showing you the right way." And then they, you know, break away from your hand and say, no, I'm going this way. Even though it's danger down the road, even though there's danger down there or it's not right for you. Yeah, it's like that. And honestly, I was one of those people. I'm still kind of hard-headed. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm still hard-headed. I'm still hard-headed. But it's just levels to my hard-headedness that I understand certain situations for what they are. And I can keep it real with myself to say, hey, yo, you already know what this person is going to be like. You already know what they putting on the table. So it's up to you if you want to deal with it or not, right? So now I'm like, my curiosity is like, okay, let's see where we at with it. I want to see what this is going to be about. But then when I get hurt in the end, now I'm sitting there like, you knew better. So you should have did better. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Single or settle, right? Mm-hmm. You single, you meet somebody, you enjoy their conversation. Mm-hmm. When you go out on dates, you love it. Y'all communicate all through the day, and everything's good. You look forward to seeing this here person. But you single, you dating. Let's just say you dating a professional athlete too, mm-hmm. and y'all don't have as much fun. Y'all don't communicate, but the nigga money long. You like, and he basically saying like, yeah, I'm looking for that woman that tied a knot to and this and that. Both of them basically is like that. Now, does it come down to you? Because the nigga who you like spending time with all the time and doing all this here stuff, that nigga broke. But y'all just vibing, you know what I'm saying? Like when I say broke, I don't mean broke, but I mean like that nigga mm-hmm. just barely making it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like y'all niggas Netflixing and chill, y'all niggas just, having fun with each other, you know what I mean? Like, but mm-hmm. then you got this here rich man that can afford you like everything financially. You never have to work a day again. You know what I mean? All they really want you to do is just be home and, cater to them and this and that. But y'all don't have fun. Y'all don't really connect like that. Would you settle for the money?
Honestly, no. I wouldn't settle for the money. You know why? Because I'm a hustler at heart. I can make my own money. You know what I mean? And if I'm somewhere where I don't want to, it's no laughs, there's no love, there's no anything in that relationship. It's just financial gain. I don't want to be there. No, I don't want to be. If it's just financial gain, I don't want to be there. And I know a lot of women will call me fucking crazy and call me stupid. Sprinkle. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, no, I can make my own money. I'm a hustler at heart. Listen, I wanted to be love involved in the situation. Like, it shouldn't just be strictly just financial. You know what I mean? Like, we have to have something in common. We have to at least laugh, enjoy our time with each other, because how can you just see growing to love somebody is the same thing as growing to hate somebody. I have to grow to love you, right? Now, there's things that I don't even really like you like that. But I have to grow to love you. Like, make it make sense. I don't even like you like that. But now I have to grow to love you.
Like, because of money. Because of
money. Like, no. I feel like happiness cannot be bought. Happiness cannot be bought. There are things that are priceless. You know what I mean? Like, certain things just cannot be bought. Loyalty cannot be bought. Having a genuine person cannot be bought. Those are things that cannot be bought. So no, there's things in this earth, in this lifetime, that you'll learn that just money just cannot purchase that. Money cannot buy that. You know what I mean?
Lola says men with money and men that brought more to the table made her feel like she wasn't worthy. Like it made her lose her self-worth.
Okay. It's different strokes for different folks. Some women might be happy with that. Some women might be good with that. You know what I mean? But no, it's just certain things. I feel like it's certain things that just cannot be bought. Just cannot be. You just can't buy certain things.
Donna say, "Do you
Like,
want to cry in a Kia or a Benz?"
um, I want to cry where I'm most comfortable and safe at, and it's not a car. A car is material. I could buy. You could buy that. Somebody else could buy that, right, for you. But if I have
I
to
think that was
cry
the
in that
question on
Kia,
the like are you more comfortable with the rich guy, or the guy that's just like that you have fun with all the
regular
time?
guy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think she compared it to a Kia or a Benz. Basically, I guess she's saying both of them gonna make you cry eventually.
right?
Yeah. So
So
which one do you want to cry in?
it
And
don't.
like, but I hear you like, yo, if it's just money involved, like I ain't even there.
It does not negate the fact that you will have trauma.
Hmm.
It is not going to take away from the fact that you are still crying. And what are you crying about? It's not going to take away from that fact. A person can buy you all the gifts in the world, but what is that really going to do for you? If that's the case, a lot of people wouldn't be divorced. A lot of rich people wouldn't be divorced. Yeah, there's money involved, but why are y'all divorced? I know I've seen a lot of relationships where that done lasted a very long time, even with money involved. Like come on now. Like no. At the end of the day, I just feel like it just depends on how y'all two operate together, how y'all communicate with each other and different things like that. Like, no. Do I want to cry in the Kia? No. But I don't want to cry in the Benz full of gifts and you're still gone.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm crying. Hello. Like make it make sense.
Yeah. 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 I 100% get it. So, Melly,
Yes.
you are more than happy to, well, you already said no, you don't want to grow old alone. But I mean,
Of
before
course.
you settle, though, you are more than happy to date and be free and make your own money than to settle just to say that, oh, yeah, I'm not going to die alone.
Facts. And I'm not a user. Like I don't
Because when
like
it comes to relationships, I feel like this. A lot of people um, look over the most important thing. Like you'll have people being like, "Oh, she's beautiful. She's
mm-hmm.
I'm speaking from the male side. She's beautiful. She's got a good job. She got it going on. Um, she don't have no children. She don't have this and that." And then they'll look at it like that instead of saying like, "But is this my friend?"
Right.
Because I don't believe anything would work out unless you are friends. Like, are you friends with that person? Because when you're a friend with somebody, you don't want to see your friend going through no bullshit.
Right.
And then the relationship just makes it better. Because, like, you wouldn't want to do nothing fucked up to your friend. I think a lot of people miss that aspect in relationships and they stop trying to work on being the best friend that they can be. And they just, like, try to work on, you know, being whatever facade or whatever they think that their significant other wants them to be.
Hmm. I agree.
Cause you know how we was just talking about it, like you was saying, like yeah, like a friend, like yo, concert coming to town, like hey yo, Melly, we there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ah, yeah, know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We all on social media,
We
like
out.
ah,
Right. We out.
yeah, but like when you just out with somebody, it's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah,
You gotta act a certain way.
yeah, yeah,
You can't just be yourself.
yeah, exactly.
And that is something that money cannot buy.
Facts.
That's something that money can't buy. Like people have to understand. It might sound cliche than a motherfucker, right? To say, oh, there's certain things that money can't buy. But when you go through certain situations in life, you will understand there are certain things that money cannot buy. Real shit. Like you can't buy a loyal person. It has to be already instilled within you to be a loyal person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you can't buy that. You could buy it, right? But it's not loyal because as soon as you stop, as soon as the money stop, they stop.
Yes.
You understand? So nah, it's just certain things that money can't buy, and I stand on that. That's stamped by Melly. Facts.
Where can these here people find you at right now or when they catch the playback? We
Well,
will link your channel in the description of this here video.
y'all can find me at Melly Mel, all caps, Melly with a Y, two L's on Melly and Mel, all caps. Y'all can find me at the Honeycomb Hideout, cutting up. Y'all can find us over there, just doing our thing. Y'all can find us over there and having real topics. Hood Chick Chronicles is in full effects. I am in the algorithm, so I definitely am excited about that. And yeah, y'all can find me over there at the Honeycomb Hideout.
So when you say Hood Chick Chronicles, explain that.
Hood Chick Chronicles is a guide. Hood Chick Chronicles is a guide of just lessons and experiences that I have gone through as a female that I can give jewels and gems to other young ladies. And it don't even have to be hood chicks. I just labeled it hood chick because I'm a hood chick. Okay?
Shout out to the Hood Chicks.
I'm a hood chick. So I understand, the trials and tribulations that you might go through, but it doesn't always have to be just about hood shit. We do incorporate the fellas into our lessons as well. And it's just gems and jewels that Melly drops as a teacher because I am a teacher at heart. So that's just what I give my ladies who are professional, who work a 9 to 5, who live in the ghetto, in the gutter, hood rats, all that. We do it to a whole crowd. It's not just a select few of people. No, it's to everybody. Because how many times have you met a female who's grown up with a father and a mother, 2-parent household, but still fall victim or still go after ain't shit niggas? So it's not just the girls who grew up without daddies. It's us as a collective. So I like to, just drop my jewels and gems of situations that I might have been through or situations that I've seen from other people in my life that I just like to give a lesson to. And the fellas are more than welcome as well because we be talking about the fellas as well. And we give the fellas game too. So, it's dope over there.
Leave the Skinnosphere with a jewel for everybody.
A jewel for everybody. A jewel for everybody. I would say listen to yourself, love yourself, and you will be just fine. You love yourself and listen to your intuition. It will never steer you wrong. I'm big on intuition. Follow your intuition, love yourself, love those who love you, and use your discernment. Discernment is the key. Use your discernment. If it ain't right, it ain't right. You don't ever have to second guess yourself or none of that. If you feel like it ain't right, it ain't right. Always do your research as well. Do your research.
The younger Melly, the Melly now, Melly in 10 years, where you want to be at? As far as relationship.
10 years, where I see myself at in 10 years.
Because at this point, it's complicated. Younger Melly, you was with hood niggas in jail.
It is.
Yeah. Now it's complicated.
I'm no longer doing that.
Yeah, now it's complicated. Yeah, now it's complicated. So,
in 10 years,
yes.
In 10 years, I want to be with my life partner in 10 years. In 10 years, I want to be with the person that I'm supposed to be with, traveling, exploring this world, us still learning and living together and going through life, together. That's where I want to be. I want to be with somebody who, you know, understands me as much as I understand them. So that's where
In
I
these
want to be.
days and times, do you see marriage as a must? Because you say life partner. Do you see marriage as a must, or could you see yourself being with somebody like you say a life partner that you don't necessarily have to say, oh, that's my husband, or
My husband.
yeah.
I feel like marriage is too much pressure. I feel like marriage is pressure. I feel like if that's something that we both want to do and that we decide and agree on, then let's do it. But if that's something that we don't foresee in our future, it's okay to not see that. We could still, do what you could still be my life partner without us having that piece of paper. You know what I mean? So I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. Let's go travel the world, baby. We going to Paris next week. We got, you feel me? We living our lives. We living our best lives. Without that piece of paper, and we still doing us. So no, it doesn't have to be just one way. It could be another way. And people need to understand that. If we decide that we want to get married, we can do that. But other than that, no. If that's not what we want to do, that's fine. That's cool. I'm cool with that.
Melly Mel, ladies and gentlemen. Melly Mel, it was a pleasure. You taking the time out to be on the Skinnosphere podcast. And she's in the Honeycomb Hideout. You can find me over there, because I be over there. Um, you can find me over there falling through. Do you still put out the Hood Chick Chronicle?
Yes, we just did a Hood Chick Chronicles on Monday. Every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Is the Hood Chick Chronicles?
Yes, it's Hood Chick Chronicles, and we talk about many of different topics. I'll put a poll out on my community tab on YouTube, and the people will vote on what they want to hear about or what they, want to talk about, and I'll deliver. So every Monday's Hood Chick
And the
Chronicles.
Honeycomb Hideout is any day.
The Honeycomb Hideout is, listen, we get it on over there at the Honeycomb Hideout. It be lit. It be lit. You might hear me cussing somebody out. You might hear somebody on my platform. You never know. But we're also definitely tapping into Melly getting back into interviewing hip hop, hip hop artists, rappers, music. We're definitely getting back into that. So that's something that the Honeycomb Hideout can definitely look forward to.
Shout out to Melly Mel.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Skinny. I fucks with you the long way. I fucks with you the long way. Facts.
And I appreciate your support.
Yep, no problem. I appreciate your support as well. A lot of people don't understand, it's harder for us smaller channels to actually build and everything like that. So when you have OGs like yourself and veterans in this shit like you actually tapping in, it means everything. I promise you it do. I'm humble in my status on YouTube, and I appreciate you just tapping in and linking with me for real.
Appreciate you, and this definitely won't be the last time.
Oh no, it won't. It won't.
Drop a brawn for Melly Mel, y'all. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Melly Mel, ladies and gentlemen. Skinnosphere podcast, episode 5. Another successful podcast, man. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you share it. People catch it on the playback. Shout out to people on Rumble, Twitter, and Facebook as well. And we'll see you next week.